Well, hello, and ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everybody around the world. Welcome back to the One Piece video featuring Piece D Ace. Get ready for a very, very spicy deck profile featuring OP08 here on the channel, let alone a leader in which is a special challenger. This is a deck in which we haven't really dived into very much since OP07. The deck has been changed in numerous different ways. This is one of the various builds of Ace that people have come up with or come across, or some sort of Ace variant similar to this. But coming into OP08, this deck changes drastically with a bunch of new cards, a bunch of new top ends, and some very synergistic options that we actually have now for Ace. So I'm having a lot of fun with this leader. I know this is a fan favorite for a lot of people. So I wanted to do something here that wasn't going to be just Doflamingo right away. I am working on Birdcage Doflamingo for 8.5. Again, it's an off-meta deck, but I love Dofi, and he gets a lot better in OP11, or sorry, OP10. But currently, that will come up after this this deck profile here with Ace. I wanted to do a deck profile for Ace because I feel like this is one of those leaders that we don't get a lot of love for, just overall in the community. There are a lot of diehard Ace fans out there who very much believe in this deck or have a lot of fun with it, or who knows it stays at locals. But being in OP08, it's gained a lot of access to top end, consistency, and all that jazz. So we're going to dive into my list here that I've been cooking up, and let's get at it. In OP08, this leader has gained access not only to the 5-drop Ace from OP07, we also gain access to some top end in Newgate. We gain some more blockers that allow you to draw cards and to basically cycle cards from your hand to the top of your deck and or bottom of your choice, by the way. So this helps you stack with your leader ability to make sure you typically don't whiff as often as you would without cards like this. We also have access to Marshal D Teach, which is a star in this deck. This card basically lets you set up any turn that you have him on the board. As long as you have a baby Luffy or a baby Ace on the field, you can go ahead and slap in a 5-drop Ace, Luffy, or the bigger Luffy onto the top of your deck and go ahead and use your leader ability. Make sure you're 7k power leader until your following turn, which is really, really good. I think this card gets slept on a lot, not only in this Ace variant, but also in Blue Doflamingo. This is a very, very strong card for that as well. Just being able to top deck the best card in that particular moment is just very strong. But overall, this has been my favorite Ace deck that I've come up with so far. And again, I didn't come up with this by myself. A buddy at my locals who's a diehard Ace fan, not only just this variant of Ace, but Red Ace, strictly just plays Whitebeard Pirates most of the time. He let me in on the Marshal D Teach. So shout out to you, homie. You know who you are. I appreciate you. I'm glad you actually got to show me the tech with this. This was a lot of fun to run into. Very, very solid for this build setup. Now, we also teched in we also teched in some Red Rocks here, just for those matchups when you play against a green deck and you have to get rid of the Eustace Kid. And, you know, you're going to be running into Jewelry Bonnie, Perona, and Uta, mainly, that are typically going to run the Eustace Kid. So having a way to just remove it and call it a day is great. We also may be playing with the brand new search event for OP08. Allows you to look at the top 3, similar to the 3-cost Doflamingo. If you guys, you guys should know who that is. You know, the blocker that allows you to organize the cards on top of your deck and stuff. It's similar to that, except for he looks at 5, this looks at 3, and then it allows you to place them back on the top of your deck after you take one of those cards among the 3, which is really, really cool. So you look at 3, you take 1, you put 2 back on the top and or the bottom in any order you want. So this helps you set up cards for Ace, of course, for your leader ability. Now, with that said, we also include the Garp and the search event, Three Brothers Bond. This is just to help you, fuel your hand for the small little ones and stuff. But overall, this is a very, very solid deck list. At least I think so. Don't get me wrong, there's other tweaks and stuff you can do with this list. There's other cards you can add into it and all that jazz. I'm sure someone's going to talk about the 5-drop Ace and stuff here. Why aren't I running that and all that? I like it. I would use it if I used more Whitebeard cards in this variant. I typically don't. I'm only running with a few. So that's up to you. You can add in more if you choose to. That way this card helps you out a lot more and gives you another target for the little ace. So each their own. But overall, we are going to dive into a bunch of games today. I do hope you guys are going to enjoy this one. But before we do, I do want to touch on the 10 cost Newgate. This is a card in which I don't see in a lot of these variants, to be fair with you. And unfortunately, I also don't see it in Marco. I think this card is pretty solid, for reason being, if you aren't running into a deck that generally has a lot of bodies on board, this is a very strong card into decks like Blue Doflamingo, for example. If they don't have an answer for this right away, Blue Dofi goes wide very, very quickly. So decks like Blue Dofi, Rob Lucci, Gecko Moria, they go wide very, very fast most of the time, right? Or when they're into that end game, they have the Gecko Moria on board, that's going to hit you for 9k each and every turn. If you're able to drop Newgate down and you already have like maybe a small body, like one of these guys on board, you're able to become a 7k leader, right? And have this on board. If they decide to attack you, they have to discard cards in their hand to be able to do so. Their leader can swing, but all their other characters on board cannot unless they discard 2 cards. And they must discard 2 cards. Not 1 card and, oh, oops, I'm out of cards in hand. They have to discard 2 cards to be able to do that. This allows you to stall the game a little bit. And if they don't have removal for it, you can kind of chain 2 back-to-back if you're lucky enough to draw them. Or you can go back into your ace leader ability to go 7k, 9k if you're able to do so. But overall, let's dive into a bunch of games today. See you guys in a split second. Let's go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into a bunch of games today. Coming at you guys with Blue-Yellow Ace playing into Doflamingo, which I ain't mad about. Unfortunately, this is going to be a harder matchup, especially if he's playing with Birdcage, considering that all of my ace drops are 5 cost. So, I'm hoping we don't get run over here, because it is definitely possible. Now, again, coming at this playing with Blue Ace, or Blue-Yellow Ace, this matchup still can go in Dofi's favor if I don't get a lot of procs here off my leader ability. We did draw into Teach, so this should be able to help us out, especially throughout the game, because we know Dofi cannot hard remove Teach. He could play down a Sugar to rest it and attack into it, or Punk Gibson and all that yada yada, but he can't really hard remove this, at least right now, in a viable list for Birdcage. And speaking of which, this is probably one of my older lists here, considering that's a Mr. 2 over there. I have never run into another Doflamingo player who's been running Mr. 2. I did put out a video about Mr. 2 and Doflamingo, so I mean that was a thing for a little bit, but we'll double check the list at the end of the video anyhow, because for some reason you're able to see every card in your opponent's list just by mousing over them now, which is nice. Something I didn't notice. I'm sure it's always been here. But in any case, let's get down Ace. We can get down a little one. We can go ahead and give our leader 2 Rested Dawn. We can put Ace on top of our life here, which is nice. We can't attack with him yet because we have 3 life, but at the end of the day, allowing myself to do this pushes me to 7k on leader, which is great. And we didn't bottom deck any important cards there, which is cool. We'll go ahead and do a search. Okay. The shuffling on Sim sometimes, man, is just terrible. How about another one? Let's take the Luffy here, actually. The Luffy might be viable here, because we can pop certain characters, like Sugar, if we need to. This should be guaranteed. Cool. Going 9 just allows him to Punk Gibson and do an event and call it a day. So going 10 makes him have to do an event and give me another card. I think we also have to remove Mr. 2 at some point. Although he's really only copying like Ace. And that's pretty much my highest attacker other than Luffy and Newgate. So go 7. That is fine. Puts me down to 2 here. Get another Flampe. Not ideal, but it's okay. Because now we can play Luffy as well. Just to pop the Mr. 2. But let's do this first. That way we're able to get the Ace and get the power boost here. This will push us back up to 7. Speaking of Luffy's. I mean, I couldn't really do anything with it because we didn't have any baby ones. So this was still the right way to do it. So we go back up to 7. We have to swing with this first. This would be the moment he draws into a Punk Gibson off life to rest the other Ace. Like, ideally, right? Because that'd be great. Okay, baby 5, Mr. 2. Love to see it. Yeah. We will remove him, though, because that allows us to draw a card, too, with the Luffy ability. Yeah, that's a lot of counter. Sometimes doing this in the early game against this leader, he just can't keep up. Depending on what he draws for the rest of the game. Yeah, let's go ahead and remove this, because this still lets us draw a card. Cool, we get another ace. That's actually really good, because it only takes one big body off the top of their leader ability to play down a little one to do the ability again. So, but both of my aces cannot attack anymore due to Birdcage, and he is on 9 Dawn, which is terrifying because that gives him access to Big Mom and Kaido. And he can still win the game right now. Ooh, Queen. Okay. So he's going to extend Birdcage, which is fine. Throws away Kid. Interesting. Yeah, this does look like one of my older lists. Like the list in which I made with Bon Clay. It's interesting. So. Nah. Yeah, that's fine. We'll use this. We'll draw into... I can't take the Newgate here. That would be great. Taking the Baby Luffy is fine too, but I think we have to take the big one. The big ace. I think that's the best option, but we don't have a Baby Luffy just yet. And we get a big ace anyway, so that's cool. Let's do... I can't swing with those, of course. I have to play something down on board first for the Teach ability to be active. So, we can play the Baby Ace down, use Teach's ability to put the 5 ace on top of our deck here, and stack it that way. We get a blocker down. We have quite a bit of 2k counters in hand. I'm not worried about him actually killing us just yet. This gives me access to my leader ability. He's got 2 Dawn open, 6 in hand. I think we'll get Queen at most off the board. Because this pushes us to 7. And we'll be at 9. So we'll have to swing at 10 at the bare minimum to potentially get Queen off the field. Because otherwise he'll just play an event like Spiderweb to restand it at 10k. If only. We can actually take the Luffy here. This will help out. We can play the Luffy down, do the Luffy thing, and we have another body on board that can actually do some damage here in the following turn. Go there. I think we have to go higher here. Putting the ace blocker down is pretty good here too, but we'd have to remove the Teach in this scenario. What could this life be? Risky. I mean... Imagine that. Imagine if I just whiffed it. Alright, let's get this. We go up to 9k this turn, which is crazy. We can put those on the bottom, because I don't really care about the Teach and the pudding right now. They're kind of irrelevant to me. Because we already have a Teach on board, so. Okay, so now we can definitely swing over the Queen. Luffy can get the extra 2,000 power boost for now. And then we can just stack it all on. Hitting hard here. Let's go 14 the face, or 13 the face. Math hard sometimes. 14. That should be guaranteed. Yep. Okay. Another Queen. Interesting. You know, I figured that he would have played Big Mom and at least tried to remove the Hiyori at this point. Or another big body. I guess he'd have to remove a big body here. But still. Big Mom would heal him. I would get healed in this scenario. He still has the Birdcage up, so looking pretty good on that side. But running 2 blockers isn't bad either. He just can't attack me this turn. Okay, we get the ace. We still have Teach here to play around with. We'll play this in place of Hiyori. We'll do the Teach ability to put the ace on top of life, or sorry, on top of the deck. I think all of these plays so far has just been because Teach enabled me to do so, and he doesn't have an answer to remove it. Like the consistency, that is. And he can't rest any of my characters unless he gets a Punk Gibson off life. So Punk Gibson can't touch anything else because we're all 5 costs. It just sucks because he's going to have to, you know, freeze them with Birdcage. Let's go 11 here. Okay, so we get 1 down. We can go 11 with Leader here, and then go 10k with the other Ace. The Rush Ace. I don't think we're going to attack with the blocker just yet. Just to be safe. Because at that point, you can just don up Diamante and go face. If you wanted to. Because I imagine he takes one of these hits. And then he counters out of the other one. Okay, never mind. Maybe he doesn't have events in hand. If that's the case, he must have a bunch of dead cards with no counter then. Yeah. We'll just go for it. There's no reason not to at this point. Because Flampe is... To play that down just to draw a card is not ideal right now. We'll go 10. There's no way you go to 0. Okay, alright, well, GG. Because we have the blocker here. He can't rest it unless he has a Hody Jones, right? If he has Hody, then he can go for game. That's the only way he's going to be able to rest the Ace, unless he's running Straw Sword, and then goes for face that way. Yeah, that would be pretty good. That'd be very surprising. But again, this list looks very similar to my Bond Clay list, so I don't think he'd be running Straw Sword there. Ragnarok, yeah, I can see that. Goes 10 to lead. And we're just out of the woods at 11. And that should be a good game. Nice. He did have the queen, or sorry, the big mom in hand, but overall, not too bad. It's pretty solid. I would have loved for him to stay for a little bit, just to talk to him, but it seems like most people just, after they win, they just bounce, you know? I'm guilty of that too, but still. In any case, we are playing against Smoker here, so I don't expect all too much, especially when keeping my characters on board. Because he's able to just remove things willy-nilly, kind of similar to Rob Lucci. A little bit harder for him to do multiple targets, yes, but it's not really an issue if he can just remove the big bodies every time I play them down, so. And he does also have access to Gecko Moria, so he can still do the Gecko Moria, Rob Lucci, Sabo ordeal. So, there's a lot of blockers I'm going to have to get through this game. At least when it comes to, that's 8 off the top of my head. I'm not sure if Smoker runs with any more than that, typically, so we'll see. I think getting down Teach here isn't a bad idea, but he probably is just going to remove it on 4 Dawn. So perhaps we just go 8k and call it a day. This might just be guaranteed. We'll use a search event here instead. What can we get? Okay. Let's get the little one here. It's probably the better ordeal. Just so we have them for now. And then we can put the other ones back on top of life here. Or life, sorry, top of deck. I'm so used to saying that, being a yellow player. It's fine the way they are. Alright, so we got 1 in so far. Seeing the Pudding here would be really, really good in the early game. Because he is going to draw a lot of cards with Brand New. And the Sengoku. So, that's a very strong card, by the way. The Navy one that allows you to just, like, ditch a Navy type and then draw 3. That's so strong. Or Trash 2, draw 3. It's so good. Do we have enough Dawn for this, actually? I think we do. I probably shouldn't have done it this way, but it's okay. This was a big gamble. But it's alright. So we get the little aces and the big aces. We can do the shenanigans and start stacking the deck here. Newgate is going to be really, really good here in this match. Because I feel like most of the time we're going to be able to just slap down 5-cost bodies a lot. And he'll just spend removal to get rid of them off board. And not be expecting the 10-cost Newgate in the late game. I think once he's down to like a smaller hand size, it'll be a little bit harder for him to start attacking me. Because a lot of his big bodies that he plays on board are going to be just like Gecko Moria and Tashigi. Unless I'm missing someone. I guess Kuzan's the thing too, right? But 5k is, you know, it's all good. Newgate here just makes him have to pitch cards from hand and or just force remove him if he has it. And if he's spending removal on a bunch of my 5-cost bodies, I think Newgate will have a bigger impact in this game. Yep, there he goes. Blocker Ace can't even stay on the field for 1 turn. Crazy. Alright, so Brook's on board. So that means Newgate is now a little bit more valuable, considering Brook has to attack to use his ability, and then he has to pitch 2 cards in order to do that, if Newgate's on board. This might be a good idea to play Teach here. We have the hand for it, we have a bunch of the babies here, but we don't have any 5 costs yet. So if we can hit a single 1, we're chilling. Nice, okay. Well, Ace can't swing, right? So I don't think it matters on whom we grab here. If we take the Ace, he has to attack us and enable it, which is fine. For the following time, you know, we get another Ace. Luffy here becomes a 2k, so... Or not 2k, sorry. An 8k, my bad. Let's do the thing. Let's go to 7k. This will force him to potentially not do damage. So I think he'll probably develop bodies on board instead of actually attacking me. But I could be wrong. He could go 7k with Smoker by attaching 1 Dawn using the ability to minus the Garp and then swinging in for 7. Which is fine. But the brand new Tashigi and Brook probably aren't attacking my leader here this turn. Hina? Yeah, probably. If he attaches 2 Dawn to it, yeah. I can see that happening. He's already at 8. This could be a Gecko Moria play. Okay, so Ice Age. 2 turns in a row, he has spot removal both 5 costs on board. Yep, you got it. I don't really have to do anything here, so that's cool. So there's that. And what do you play here? Because you can't play Gecko Moria now, if you had it. Okay, so we got another Sabo here. This card's Gecko Moria and Kuzan. I'll take that. Thank you. And he should be going 8k. Yep. Okay, so we get a Garp and a Hiyori off the draw. Next turn we can potentially play down the Newgate. We've already seen quite a bit of removal from him, opposed to seeing the Tashigis just yet, but still. We'll get a Garp. If we play down Teach, we can do the Teach thing to put Ace on top of my deck here. Give me the boost, do the ability, please just see Ace. Hey, it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. I'm feeling like luck is in my favor right now. Alright, so we're a 9k swing here. I mean, this makes us 10. I probably should have attacked with Ace first. That's my bad, but it is what it is. Too late now. At least this way it forces him to give me the Sabo and or take the damage, right? We'll just go 10 here as well. 2 big 10k swings on the same turn is kind of spooky. Okay. That's fine. I wonder if he runs Kuzan in this deck. Because that could be a problem. Kuzan would probably enable him to just do anything he wanted at that point. Especially with Brook and Tashigi being on board. And I don't have an answer for it because I haven't seen a single Red Rock yet. Alright, so we get a -2 on Ace here. Rested Tashigi for it, which is fine. I assume he has a removal in hand with the amount of cards he has currently. But he might not have enough to attack me afterwards once he plays cards on board here. So I haven't seen a lot of Smoker players run with any CP9 packages or CP0 packages, so Rob Lucci and stuff, you know. Garp goes bye-bye, that's fine. We're still the 3 cost here. No stage. I think we're chilling, man. We've seen quite a bit of aces, which does suck. There's only one more little ace that we can potentially draw into. So Rebecca hits the board. Gets Sabo from trash. So I imagine he swings at me with 7 with Smoker. Because he attaches the Dawn, does his leader skill, minuses the Garp, hits me for 7. Or not at all. Because that is... Oh no, he still has 6 Dawn left. Yeah, he can still hit me. What do you got there? Okay, Kobe and Sengoku. Okay. Alright, Sabo hits the board. We get a Gecko and a Kobe off the discard. Smoker swings in for 7 with leader ability. Our ace is still on the field. Awesome. Cool. No, I will not take this hit. I guess I have to give him the 2K, because I'm not going to give him the Luffy. Just cost the game here. There's a Newgate. I don't really see him swinging with anything on board right now, so Newgate is really not needed just yet. I want him to have Moria on the field before we drop the Newgate. But if we can chain this back to back, like we play Newgate now, right? Let's play him now. Let's play him now. It's probably a mistake. Let's do this. We play him now, and then potentially next turn, he'll just drop the Moria because he can't swing with anything else on board without having to discard cards. That's probably the best option. I don't know why I just did that. That's fine. It just gives us the rest of Dawn. It's okay. Yes, I know I didn't activate my leader ability. It was intentional because I don't have any ways of playing the card down. At least I don't have Dawn to be able to do anything about it, so. Go another 7 here. This should force the Rebecca. He did give me counter out of hand, which is interesting, instead of going for the block. Yep. Okay, so everything is taxed, and what that means is before that card can swing, they have to discard 2 cards in their hand in order to do so. This does not apply to leaders, only to the characters that are on your opponent's field. This card is really, really good, and I feel like it is slept on, I think. I think Mark, we can utilize this card pretty well in Ace here. So these are really the only 2 decks that can, because they both have ties to Whitebeard Pirates, but still. I think he has to focus on removing. Yep. So -2 on this. I see an Ice Age in my future, which does suck. No, Tashigi. Alright. So I'm a 4 cost now. 2 Tashigis. That'll do it. So that's popped. And that's perfectly okay. Smoker can still hit me for 5 because I didn't get the boost. So I will probably have to counter here. But we'll take the hit instead. There's not really a point of not doing it. I don't want to give him the 2K. So we get the pudding. Brooke obviously isn't going to swing, nor is Sabo here. So I think at this point, we can just cook, and then play it on the Newgate again. Chain back to back. We'll do the ability here. We can put pudding on top. It's just to give me the rest of Dawn. So we get a T-Bone, and a brand new. Okay. Damage. Just take the hit, you don't need it. If this puts him on 0, I think we just win game. Okay, he guards out with the 2K counter with a block with Sabo. Either way, we're totally safe here. The only thing that he can do, potentially, is swing in heavy with Smoker, and then discard 2 cards to swing in with Tashigi here. So technically, he could go 10k with Smoker, do the damage, and then go... what, 11k with the Shigi and try to go for a game? That's something that he could have done. But we do have 12k counter, so I mean, hey, we're chilling either way. So we get Rebecca. He gets Hina back from trash, which is interesting. Maybe he'll be trying to kill the Newgate here. Yep. No? Going for Ace. But how do you clear this without attacking with Brook? Unless you're playing a Brook from hand. I don't think he can do it. Unless he has access again to the Brook, a Kobe, or another Tashigi. Okay, 7 lead. I think safely, I can potentially just take this hit. He's got 2 cards in hand, 1 life up. He's got 5 Dawn open. That's probably another Sabo, so probably we should guard here, just in case. It might be another blocker that hits the board. Nope, spent 4. Yep, there's another blocker. Okay. Alright, we're in trouble. We are in trouble. We only have 3 attacks right now, and he has 3 blockers on board, so... Not sure what else we're going to be able to do here. We get a pudding, because we knew that was there, because we put it there with the Teach. Let's burn it. Let's go ahead and use Flampe, draw 2 cards. We'll get a Garp and a Luffy. Okay. That's not bad. Luffy won't be able to do anything unless we get the Egghead. We're cooking, boys. We are cooking. Now we can pop the Rebecca. Alright, so we pop the Rebecca with the Luffy, and we get to draw a card. We can go ahead and teach ability, right? We can put the Luffy on top of our deck here, use our leader ability, go to 7, play Luffy down, pop the Rebecca, 2 blockers up. We have 3 attacks on board. Or 4 attacks, I guess, because we can just Dawn up Teach if we have to. Alright, so we get the Luffy here. Let's go and get rid of this. We draw into an Ace. If only that was another Rush Ace, that'd been awesome. That's 6. Go 6 lead. Does he have it? Okay. Super risky, but alright. We'll go 9. Or sorry, 8. Math's hard. So we get the Sabo. He's got 1 blocker up. I'm pretty sure he's cooked here. And 12k? Good game, buddy. Well played. That was pretty good. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we'll probably play maybe 4 more games after this one. Maybe 3, give or take, but we'll see. We're diving into it again with Ace playing into Perona, in which this deck is coming back into format, is doing quite well. Thankfully, with the new changes, not new changes, but new OP08 cards and stuff, this leader actually is doing really, really well. I think a lot of people are sleeping on her, but this is going to be a very, very hard matchup for us. I'm not looking forward to it. Well, let's go 8k lead here and call it a day. There's no reason to play down Teach because she'll just rest it and attack into it, so we'll probably have to play him when we're able to do a play, you know what I mean? I think this will be a really, really tough game, considering her abilities. Because she's able to just rest some of my characters, which is a problem. And we're talking about Teach. Teach is not going to be able to stay on the field here against this deck. Go 7. Interesting. Sure. Rosinante. I think that's weird just to throw out Rosinante like that. A little bit early in the game to do that. But what do I know? 7 in hands. I could play Teach here and do the thing, but let's force Pudding first. Let's go 6k lead, and then next turn we should have enough Dawn to play Teach down and get a body in life. We get a 2k from that as well. I bet you I just enabled her shenanigans. There it is, Samurai. Here we go, boys. Here we go. Yep. Venture Rest Pudding, sure. Look at that. Look at I did. Thanks, Pudding. Goodness. We got a Flampe. Alright, so we're ready for Ace. We're at 7. Still gonna be a tough game, though. Alright, let's get down Teach here. Let's put Luffy on top of life. I think we have... Or, sorry, on top of the deck. I think we have to remove the Ryuma first before we can do anything else. The other two I'm not necessarily worried about. Should probably just keep resting them for Samurai, so that's fine. its peak. I guess this is our best option, so taking Luffy. We'll go up to 7k, and we'll pop this to kill the Ryuma. Let's play Garp first. Nice. We'll take the ace. Let's just go huge. I'm going to try to get Perona down as fast as I can. Okay. Maybe I should have kept one Don open for the search there, but it's okay. She is at 8 Dawn, so potential to drop the Gecko Moria combo if she has it. I hope not, but she probably does. Yep. So either she drew into that, I gave it to her off life, or Pudding was just like, here you go, you know? I feel like Pudding always helps my opponent, but when it does it to me, it's just like, alright, cool. But any black deck, it always gives you a Moria. Every time. Alright. We get double searches, which is not great right now. Wish we had... Oh, we do have Newgate. Okay. Alright, so this might be a thing. We might be able to get around this. We might have to play it slow, but we might be able to get around it. Okay. We can place things on the bottom here. We can get rid of the double searches for now. Which is fine. I actually clicked on top, so it is what it is. Oh well. We'll grab the ace, it's fine. Go 7k. And now we have a blocker, a 9k swing, and then a 7k swing. You still have a blocker up too. So we got rid of a Sabo. And we got rid of the blocker. Okay. So we're taking one of these hits guaranteed with the Moria. There goes another Samurai. Oh. I did not expect that, actually. If I counter out, nothing is really stopping her from just doing a minus cost reduction with her leader ability and playing down another Ryuma, so we just let it go. I mean, I guess that forces 4 Dawn from her, you know, from her to use it. But still. I think countering out is just a waste here. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we needed that ace to win game, actually. I'm not sure just yet. Newgate is looking good for next turn, though. Oh yeah, definitely looking good for next turn. As long as we don't just throw it away here. Okay, so we got rid of ace in hand. She threw away Ice Age. So maybe she doesn't have any more removal in hand? Let's find out. We'll tax everything, we'll go 5 lead. Can we get around this? She gave us the blocker last time. Okay, never mind. I figured she might have had enough. The 9k swing before, when she had to give us the blocker, that would make sense. So, that's 1, 2. I've only seen 2 babies so far. She can swing at me, but her characters cannot unless she discards cards in hand, so we might be safe at least for 1 turn here. Ooh, we get another Newgate. That's actually huge. Does she have the removal for it? If she doesn't, it's guaranteed damage. Never mind. Okay, fair. How do we win this? So I cannot get around the Borsalino. I can't pop it with Luffy or anything unless that Luffy is in my trigger, my life here. Which, I doubt it. Okay, so she's swinging. She's going to discard cards here. We have to take the hit. Well, yeah, we have to take the hit. Because there's no telling. Yep. I needed to see if that was going to be a Luffy, and it was not. What can we do here? Because now Luffy won't help us at this moment in time. Yeah. She's got 2 life. I have to hit her 3 times with the blocker on board. So I don't think I can get around this one. I think she has this game. I mean, we still do have the Newgate, but we've already done shenanigans, so I can't really do anything about it. We can place this on top, I guess. I need to keep the 2K counters. We'll get rid of the Newgate. So I think this is going to be our last turn here. Unless we get lucky. Well, no, because we still can't get through it, right? Yeah, no. Well played, well played. Like I said, it's going to be a tough matchup, because she does have a lot of blockers in this deck. With the Sabos, with the Rosinantes, with the Rebeccas, if she decides to run the Rebecca, but generally just Rosinante, the Sabo, and the Borsalinos. That's already 12 blockers by themselves. So we would have to be running something like 3000 Worlds here, or Gravity Blade. You know what I mean? It's all good. We'll probably play again like 3 or 4 more games after this and see where it takes us. Well played. Yep. What did you have in hand, though? That's the question to me. Because I think without that blocker, yeah, she was cooked. Fair. So that gets removed. Yep, rested. You don't even have to do anything. You just have to get the cost reduction to rest it. And now you just go all into my face. No reason to play it slow there, I don't think. I mean, I guess we have a decent amount of counter, but still. 11k Moria, yep. We have just enough counter for both the big swings. That does suck, man. Because she just goes 9k or 10k with Ryuma. What did you have? Yeah, without that Borsalino, man, I think without that Borsalino, we were definitely cooking. Definitely cooking. But we did well. We played it the best that we could, I think, in that scenario. Again, we were up against probably 12 blockers in the deck. We didn't see that many, of course, but still. It was weird to see Shanks, I'll give you that, though. Because Shanks was in the hand at the end of the game, so that's a little interesting. It works, but still. Okay, so we get Newgate here, not great. We do have a Namu, or Namul, or something. I don't want to butcher it, it is what it is. The Fishman's shark guy. Alright, I'm sorry. Let's do that. I guess we can get rid of the Newgate, because we're probably not going to use it here in this matchup at all. Yamato, just the leader itself, is already terrifying here to play against. Let's just go 7. And hopefully we don't get a Nami off trigger. Thank you. We do have a lot of little ones this time around, so Yukinojo. So this looks to be a Wanu package, if I had to guess. We have to guard here. We have to guard the 5s at the very least. Unfortunately, we're not going to give him the 2k counter for it, so. Nothing but babies. That's a good sign. Because at least this way, we can just attach the Dawn and then hope that we get what we need. Nice. Okay. Let's be aggressive here. Let's just go for it. And see what Yamato wants to do. This will at least get a lot of cards out of their hand. Because we can do this and then swing in very, very heavy here with both attackers. I don't have to play anything else down, just in case they get the trigger. Okay, nice. I don't think it's worth playing another little one at this moment in time. Let's just get the damage in. And I probably should have just went 9 with Ace, and then the rest on lead. But it's okay. They did get a body on board off the life. They get a Samurai as well, so this is a Wanu variant. They got very lucky with their triggers, that's for sure. Alright, play all your 2K counters. I'm totally okay with that. That's probably another body, if I had to guess. Sure. No, we need this. And there's another ace. I think we're chilling, guys. We have 9 Dawn. This should work, right? 5, 6, 7. Yeah, this should work. We can play down a blocker, and then put the big ace on top of life, put down a little one, and then attach 2 Dawn to lead. Because we're at 9, so we should be able to do that. It's probably better to do it that way we're guaranteed a 7k body, which makes it a little bit harder for Yamato to deal with. We have to put them on top. It doesn't matter what order we do, because we're going to search 5 anyway. Alright, let's get the big ace on board. Ooh, wait, Luffy here as well. I think I'd rather get the attacker though, right? Just have the rush unit for now. So I think we need to end this game as quickly as we possibly can. Yep. Alright, go 7. What is it? Yeah, I thought as much. That's why I decided to attack with ace first. Alright, so we put them on 0. They still have a blocker on board, and they do have access to Hody Jones, so they could potentially still win the game here. They do have a lot of attacks this turn. Especially if they have like a Maru's or 9 flashes. They can definitely go for game here. So we only have 6k counter in hand and 1 blocker on board. So, the 9 flash and or the Amaru, alright, never mind. Yamato. Their hand cannot be that bad. There's no way. I need this, sorry. It's 8. Give you the 2. And then she cannot swing on me. Alright, so their hand is absolutely terrible. Well played. And the 0 life event. I think we still have the game though. Most definitely. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go ahead and dive into our last 2 games of the day. We'll probably play this one and 1 more game after it, give or take. And hopefully, I don't run into any jewelry bonnies, because I think that's probably going to be my hardest matchup right now with Ace. Of course, there's other decks, but you know what I mean. Like, just a deck in general that's just really hard to get over with the amount of blockers that they have. I think Ace does fairly okay. Obviously, he's not going to be like a tier meta stomper or anything like that, but he is very, very fun to play at your local scene and all that sort of thing. I do think he'll get a little bit better once he gains a little bit more cards, but you know, maybe we'll move on from him. Maybe we'll get another Ace that comes out later on. Who knows? But for right now, if you're interested in playing Ace and you're having fun with this character, you like this character and all that sort of thing, this deck is very, very fun to put together. So I do hope you guys give it a shot. In any case, let's dive back into this matchup here. We're playing against Marco today. And speaking of Marco, I do have a Marco deck that I am working on. I want to get it out to you guys as soon as possible, but I have to finish out my Birdcage Doflamingo. In which, you know, for me personally, like, as much as I love playing Doflamingo, how much as he is my favorite character, Birdcage still isn't, like, super relevant right now. You still have some pretty bad matchups. The 9-cost Big Mom really does help you out and all that jazz, but still. Anyway, let's see what we can do here. Let's get the Teach down, do the Teach things, and hope that we can go ahead and hit our ability, which we should be able to, due to, you know, Teach being Teach. Put Ace on top and go up really big numbers here, get a free damage in. I have noticed with this matchup though, you go really, really fast. And Marco sometimes struggles getting a foothold with the amount of damage that you can get done here with your Ace and your leader being able to swing huge numbers. The downside is if they have their little shark blocker or the Marco blocker. But it looks like this guy's playing, for some reason, Warlords. Interesting. I do like this mix, though. I think this Warlord mix for Marco is pretty solid. I think it's a little bit slept on. It's not as good as the other one, especially with the 7-drop Newgate, which allows him to like pop pretty much all cards. That card's pretty gross. Comboing that off with like Rayleigh and stuff, it's really, really good. But we should be able to do fine in this matchup. I was worried about the 7-cost Newgate, And rightfully so, because he removes everything that we have with his Marco leader ability. You just go ahead and minus something, pop with Newgate, you're killing all your big bodies, which sucks. So, hopefully we don't see that this time around, but we'll see. But with that said, though, playing against a good Marco player, not to say that this player isn't, I have no idea, but playing against a good Marco player that is utilizing the Sanji combo into like the Rayleigh, the Newgate, and all that sort of thing, it's very hard for Ace to deal with. I tell you that. Not bad. Alright. We can go ahead and pop the Doflamingo here. I know we had a hard cast to Luffy, so that does kind of suck, but we don't have any babies in hand. This is the only way that we're going to be able to do this and get around. We do draw another Teach, so that's another 1k counter, not too bad. Let's go 5 lead. Then we'll go 7 with Ace afterwards in hopes that we can get counter from hand. If anything, he'll guard this one and take the 7. Because that would make sense. Come on now. Yep, there's the pudding. Actually, I think we have to attack. There's no reason not to here. Alright. Because realistically, if he wants to drop and kill the Ace, he can. So he does get 7 Dawn here, so he has access to playing down the 7-drop Ace to go ahead and rush and clear my board if he wanted to do that, but he couldn't use the Marco leader ability afterwards, so. Okay, Marco. That seems a little strange, but, you know, each their own. Okay, I guess he can still use his leader ability. Yeah, it's fine, it's fine. 7-5. Yeah, you got it. We'll probably have to guard out this one. I don't want to go down to 1 life. It's looking kind of dire right now. He does have the board state, so. Although it's only 2 cards, you know, we possibly might not make it to that point if we don't find any more babies, so. I think being at that 7k body for leader is just, it's very hard for a lot of decks to get over still. Alright, we get 1 Luffy. I guess we have to take the baby because we have the bigger one in hand anyway. Can we get lucky here? Well, because we would still have to hit the Luffy off the Ace ability here. So, yeah, we're probably about to whiff this. Here we go. Please? Yep. That sucks. And sometimes it's really just not consistent. We're still in OP08 and it's not consistent. It does happen. And then you'll get those players in those matches that just always seem to get the leader ability off every single turn. Yeah, that's not me. I guess we have to do a little rush Ace here or play a blocker down. Let's go ahead and go 7 to lead. 0 cost event, not bad. Trashed Dragon, interesting. 8 cost Dragon here in this deck, that's crazy. Alright, so that's 3k counter. This should be a hit then. Unless he has another 0 cost event. Can we get away with it? Yes, we can. Alright. Now, potentially, he can still win game here. If he has another dragon or a 7 cost Ace, he might be able to just go for it. 7 cost Ace to do 7k, right? So he has extra Dawn to put on Jinbei to swing in for another 7. And then he has the Dawn to attach to the Marco. That's 4 swings. And we have 3k counter and 2 life left. So unless we guard out wrong, then he can win the game. I don't see any other way he could do it here, unless he's playing with some of the, like the events that give him boosts, you know, like damage increases, but he might be fine. I forgot what it's called. It's like the Kong gun thing. Okay, Rayleigh comes down, pops Ace, yep. It's really weird for him to do this. I guess we can take all these hits and just close out the game next turn. There's no way he can kill me. We have the option of finding a Luffy, right, in the top 5, becoming a 7k body, and then stacking the rest of the Don on and going for the face. So we'll probably do that. That's just the best course of action, I think. Because we get just a little bit stronger. And no Luffy. Alright, well, next best thing is just stack all 15 and go face. He needs... all the cards in his hand to be a 2k counter, plus 1k to get out of this. So. And GG, buddy. What if, though? What if? Marker really be stalling the game, man. That's crazy. Good game, buddy. Alright, this will be the last game of the day here, and then we'll dive back into the deck list. I do hope you guys enjoyed this one, considering this is a special treat for a lot of you here, I assume, because it's been a while, and I'm pretty certain that a lot of people out there, content creators, really showcase this deck. Not saying I showcased it to, like, the best of the best, but to my ability, I think I had a good time. I am having fun with this leader, so this is something that I did build on the side in OP07 once we got the new 5-cost blocker Ace. I didn't really do too much when it came to the local scene with this leader, because I was playing other decks at the time, like Moria, for a while. But Ace in himself, a lot of fun to pick up and play. Not too expensive to build, so if you're a big fan of Ace, this is a deck that you might be able to consider. Now when it comes to this matchup in Pudding, might be a problem. No, this will be a problem. There's already 2 Brulees there, so that tells me she's running 8 blockers with the 4 Violas, right? Because that makes sense. And that's already an issue for me to deal with. So we're going to have to play around with Egghead Luffy's here, and thankfully we got one off the search here with Teach, of course. Alright, let's get this on board. We'll go ahead and go 9. I know how this works. We do the first swing. She takes the hit, right? She doesn't block, right? Makes sense. And then she can play the Katakuri down to flip the Brule, and then attack with Pudding to flip 2 more Dawn. Or sorry, flip 2 more life. That's the ideal scenario. And I didn't really have to attack her here, but I think this is just the best case, because I want to be as aggressive as possible, get a lot of bodies on board and keep swinging on Pudding. Because in the late game, I think we can actually stall out and win. If we don't, you know, like, miss our leader ability way too many times, we should be fine. And she doesn't have any options or any way of removing like Teach or anything on board unless she's playing with the like the removal card. What's it called? Like Sovereignty, I believe. But she has to -2 Dawn and do all that shenanigans, which throws her off curve from Big Mom. So depending on, you know, what she sees. And in this case, she saw Katakuri, so she might be fine. But what do I need to put on top here? We don't need the red rock. Put that on the bottom. And I guess we can play down Garp in hopes that we can find something. So I need to see at least 1 Luffy here. And we got him. We got there, boys. This will be pretty huge here. Being able to swing for 8k each turn will guarantee a bunch of cards out of hand or 0 cost event. Alright, so do the Teach thing. We have the baby on board already. That's weird to say, but y'all know what I mean. And speaking of Luffy's, we got another baby one here, but they gotta go to the bottom now, so that does suck. Alright, we'll do the thing. This might be a little greedy. Alright, this might be a lot of greedy, but let's go 8 with Luffy. 8 with Luffy. Thank you, game. I thought I already clicked that button. This will get the other Brule. Because that is a Brule, right? I don't remember. I think it is. I'm pretty sure. Unless you feel like countering it out here for some reason. I'd imagine you would take this hit just to get the extra blocker. Yep, cool. Okay. Let's burn the life. I know this is huge. This is like very risky because, you know, we're dealing with Big Mom and stuff, but this allows us to draw an extra card. And we can use Luffy to pop one of the other Brules. So we drew 2 cards here. And then we can pop the other Brule by going face for 9k. Yep. Okay, that was really good. That was really good. The downside is she is very close to Big Mom. And if she decides to drop the 9 cost here, she could remove our blocker on board if she wants to. Or, what else would she do here for 9? I don't run into a lot of puddings that do the tech like I do with the Katakuris. So, that's not something that we're going to probably see here. If she did have Katakuri, that would be pretty solid here overall. But, probably not something I'm going to run into. What are you doing? Just getting cards out of hand so far. Okay. Interesting. No 7 cost mom, no 6 cost mom. Just plays bodies down. I'm wondering if her hand is a lot of big moms. Or 0 cost events and big moms here. So that is the 3rd Brûlée we've seen, which does suck, but what are you going to do? Let's pop that as well. We get a baby Luffy. We have to luck sack this. But that's 2 Luffys already in trash and 1 on board here. I mean, we have a chance to see another one. I mean, not much else we can do here. Please. You really have to do me like that. That's crazy. I mean, you win some, you lose some. We'll put Ace on top of life here. We'll burn it, draw another card. There's the Luffy. Way to go, game. That sucks, man. There's not really a reason to put that down right now. We have the Hiyori, but we need the extra Dawn to be able to do that. So if we were, you know, 1 more Dawn here, we had a really, really good play. Now we just have to be super aggressive. We'll go 9 here, and then I guess we'll go 9 with Luffy as well. Alright, get that in. And then you go to 0, I hope. Hey, we got there, boys. 1 more turn. But now we know it's either going to be a Big Mom or an Ace. So she's going to be able to sustain herself and do damage here, or get cards out of hand, of course. We don't have a lot of counter in hand. So that's awkward. We get the Flampe. Goes 5. So this looks like a Big Mom. We'll guard out. She's going to still swing with Katakuri here. It's interesting, though, because if she wanted to burn the life here instead of giving me the card, right, she would just play Big Mom. That way we don't get the card. Unless she doesn't have Big Mom here. You know what? I'll take the hit. Because you know Mom's coming, right? We'll take the hit. We'll get the 2k counter, I hope. Nice. And then she'll drop Mom, heal herself. Or play Ace and then kill our Luffy on board or go for game. Yeah, she's going for game, so we'll have to block out. And I think here we have to see a big Luffy with our leader ability. Actually, no, we don't. We don't have to do that. Because we can just put it on top of the deck with Teach. And this is why this card is so good. Like, he never misses, of course. And then we'll become 7k, and we should be able to push for game here. Do Luffy things. Get 2,000 power. We'll play Garp down. But he's need to burn 2 Dawn. That way Teach can just give the rest of Dawn to Ace. Sure. Because if we can gain a an Ace blocker, not Ace blocker, sorry, Ace rusher. That's one more attack that we can do. Yep. We gotta put Luffy there though. I don't know why I just wasted 2 Dawn. I guess it, whatever one we get, right? Because I would much rather have the 7-cost Ace, or sorry, yeah, the Rusher Ace, than having Luffy from this, but can we get lucky? We can get lucky. Let's take this one instead. This just guarantees us an extra attack this turn. So, we'll burn this, go to 7, and now we're swinging heavy. So Luffy would be a 9k with 1 Dawn attached, which is pretty solid. She does have quite a bit of cards in hand, 1 life left. And knowing my luck, that's probably going to be a veggie. Let's go heavy for the first hit. And we can go 9 with Luffy and then 9 with Ace. 0 cost event. You're so cool. You are so cool. Ain't no way. And she had the counter. Okay, so I guess we just lose now, right? I mean, 0 cost event, not really much else I can do about it, but it was a good game. Teach, please. What if? Oh well. I'll see you guys in split seconds. Now back into the deck list here. Hey, we had to lose another game. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the end of the video. In today's video, we played around with Blue Yellow Ace, in which I had a lot of fun with. I do hope you guys enjoyed watching it. This was a leader in which we don't typically see a lot here on the channel and or at local scene. There are a lot of, again, die-hard Ace fans out there. Shout out to you. If you guys are playing Ace at your locals, like just all the time, you're having fun with this leader, what are your build setups? Help your friends out in the comments below. Help the community. Because this leader can be built in numerous different ways, and I think there's a lot of build paths that are still unexplored, even in OP08 and going into OP09, because we do gain access to a bunch of new cards in OP09, such as like Sabo, which will really make this deck very much consistent. So, there are cards like this that are still coming, but as of right now, there are other cards that can still fit in this list and do well. If you guys remember, we were playing around with Viola quite often in a lot of these Ace variants. In OP07, and then we also were using things like Ivankov, in OP07 as well, and still to this day in OP08, some of these cards are really, really good and make this deck do crazy combos and synergies. Now, there are other cards here in which I didn't run particularly, such as the 5-drop Ace here from OP08. Again, personally, I'm not using a lot of Whitebeard characters in this list, so if I were using more, this card would be included, because it does help out with the 2-drop Yellow Ace here, considering this is a 5 cost. So, it gives you another target to choose to make sure you can get that 7k leader. But overall, I've been having fun with this list. I do hope you guys enjoyed this one. Leave your thoughts and your opinions down in the comments below. Let me know what you're running down here at your local scene when you guys are running Ace. Overall, this has been Pawseplays. Remember, smash the like button so we get these videos floating around. If you aren't following the channel, why aren't you following? I post as much content as I can on off-meta leaders, quote-unquote, and meta leaders with spicy variants here. I do hope you guys find something that you can enjoy. Overall, enjoy your day, happy holidays, and I will see you guys in the very next video.